Yeah, I think it's very exciting to go home for a bit. Play at altitude again, and yeah, it's nice to show the boys where we come from, where we played through age group, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
Indeed. Obviously, Munster haven't made the cut this year. How do you feel about their current performance?
Yeah, I think they started off. They obviously started off poorly in the season, but I think with new coaching staff taking over and trying to play a bit of a different brand of rugby, but I think they've really started to find their feet and they've played a lot better. The last say 6 to 8 games, they've really showed what they're looking to do. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time before everything clicks down there.
You played for the Bulls yourself. Are you surprised they didn't get into the last four?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a bit of a different challenge, traveling up north, different style of rugby. Um, always, if you have to support a team back home, it'll always be the Bulls. Having played there for many years. But yeah, I think they're also in a bit of a rebuilding phase, and I think they're on the right track as well.
Yeah, good luck with the trip.
Thank,
Jason.
thank you very much.
Hi Jason, how are you? Michael here in RTE.
Hi, Michael.
Can you just tell me, you're already qualifying as top seeds. Is there specific other goals that you set yourself for this two-match trip to South Africa? What are you talking about as a squad, and what's on the list to take out of this trip?
Yeah, look, I think for us it's keeping that standard. We want to stay undefeated for the season. I think it's definitely sort of an unspoken goal amongst the players, and the trip, even though we've already qualified and we've got the home quarter, these games are still important, and you never know with injuries. Guys playing this week could have to step up into Europe or into quarters and playoffs for the URC. So everybody's got to be ready. Everybody's got to have know the game plan, know their roles. So I think it's very important to take these games seriously as we do, and so I think that's the main focus for us for these next 2 weeks.
Have you been given an extra leadership role? Are you expected to kind of take on a bit more, despite the fact you're just in Leinster a year? Have you been asked to do much more over these next couple of 2 weeks?
I wouldn't say anything specific, but I think naturally, going down south, coming from there, I think naturally I'll tend to step up a bit more, speak up, give my advice where I think we can do things differently, or ways that we should approach certain things. So even in terms of travel or anything like that, off field and on field things. So yeah, nothing, no extra pressure has been put on me, but it's something I look forward to. As I said with the previous interview, just showing the guys around, giving them a bit of advice and tips and things like that.
For the last maybe 10 years, Leinster have always benchmarked themselves on how they perform in Europe. How aware is it, or did you know about that immediately you came to Leinster, that it's really can be considered not a successful season if you don't get to a final or take home that Heineken Champions Cup?
Yeah, I think that's obviously one of the main goals. But I think as a team, we'd like to get both trophies in our cabinet for the season. So, we wouldn't necessarily focus more on one competition than the other. We want to sort of set that standard of winning and constantly being on top. So, whether it's a game with younger guys coming through, whether it's a game with all the internationals here, you put on that Leinster jersey, regardless of the game or the opposition, we want to win.
Just the last one for me. Can you just tell me a bit about playing and training with James Ryan? Because he obviously burst onto the scene with Ireland and Leinster 4 or 5 years ago, and kind of went off form there for a spell, and now seems to be even back to his best, or equally as good as he was. What's it like training and playing with him? What sort of person is he?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, not even just as a player, he's got incredible leadership style as well. And, it's really someone I can bounce a lot of ideas off. I take a lot out of his game. He's very physical. He's very skillful. He's got everything a modern day lock needs. So for me, really, I'm learning a lot from him. He's an incredible guy off the field, incredible player. He's he's a quiet leader. He leads with his actions, which I really respect.